Hey guys, how you doing? This is Manga etc. and I'm here to bring the review for One Piece Manga Chapter 954. You know what I'm gonna say you know what I'm gonna talk about last, didn't it? You know already. You know, just say it, just say it, just say it so we're both under the same page. Alright, cool. We'll say that till last. But let's talk about the rest. I'm even gonna talk about the cover page today. I'm even gonna talk about that cover page today. That's how excited I am. But the cover page usually tells a little mini story to what's going on. I don't understand what Burgess is doing. I mean, not Burgess. Capone is doing. He seems to be heading towards Thriller Park, but I'm thinking to myself, why? Why are you going to Thriller Park? I'm gonna figure to myself, no. Where you going? You need to come to Wano. We need you. We definitely need you after what definitely. After what was revealed today, we definitely need Kafone to come to Wano. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that because it's something I noticed. But let's talk about the chapter 954. So the first thing, actually, nah, I'm not doing it in order that happened in the chapter. The first thing I want to talk about is Luffy training. We see Luffy training, and there's basically nothing much to say about that. It's a bit that happens in the chapter. We see him training. He's trying to learn. He's trying to master the Goken, so he's able to hurt Kaido. He's got, was it 6 or 5 days? One of the two to get as good as he can, and he's going for it. I don't know because we just see him just rapidly punching like a steel plate. So, but um, one of the people that he's with, one of the people that's with Luffy saying like he's going at it like cotton candy or something like that. I don't even know. I can't remember, but he made it seem like he's having no hard time damaging this steel plate. But we don't know if he's doing this with. At least I don't feel like it's heavily implied enough. Like we don't get no indication if he's doing this with brute strength. So I'm excited. We don't get no indication if he's doing this with brute strength or he's using Goken to do this. But we can easily see that he's damaging the steel plate, and that's everything I've got to say about that bit of the chapter. What should I talk about next? Kinemon, the Kinemon stuff. So Kinemon makes an appearance within this chapter, and this is all about because I thought I remember saying this actually. I thought that there was something going on with the whole adding of the 2 line thing. I thought something bad involved because it was Beppo that gave him the card originally. Not gave Nami the card originally. I think. I thought there was something going on there, but I don't think that's the. I don't think that's the case anymore. I'm pretty sure, but basically, we find out what the 2 lines mean, and it's just basically a changing of meeting point. And so they're going to meet there instead because it's better. They made it seem like it was going to be a better meeting place. So they've done that, and the other thing to happen involving Kinemon and the peeps that he's with is that they have started a strategy meeting. Obviously, this is a big scale operation, 5,000 people strong, and they're gonna have to strategize. They can't just run in there willy nilly. They can't do that because things will go bad. So they've got the blueprints. Strategy is gonna be afoot. But I notice how the one person who has a problem following plans, Mr. Luffy, Mr. Monkey D, Mr. Straw Hat, he's not present. The person who's gonna break strategy is not there. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But yeah, that's everything I wanted to talk about involving the Kinemon stuff. So that leaves us with, I don't think it matters. You know what, I'm saving till last. You know what, I'm saving till last. But that leaves me with 2 more things on so far. So I don't think it matters from here. So I'm going to go back to the top of the chapter. So Zoro and his swords. What's I've written in my notes? Zoro and his swords. So within the beginning of the chapter, it starts off with the last chapter with I forgot her name, asking Zoro, can he give back Shisui in exchange for Enma? Now Zoro's response to this is fine. If you're going to replace it, I don't mind. I don't mind. And now, upon reading this initially, I was like, okay. But then I started to think about, does that mean that Zoro doesn't really care about his swords? And now I'm just a little bit back and forth about this, because I want to say, obviously, Wano, I forget the name, but Karina's sword. Obviously, we know he cares about that without a doubt. Without a doubt, he cares about that. Without a doubt, unless Oda wants to do something crazy, that is the sword that will carry with Zoro to the end of the series and beyond it. But his other two swords, they're fair game. Our Hawkins are always fair game. But I do think that Zoro cares about his other two swords. So to hear that he wants to replace, so to hear that he's willing to replace one, just like that, it kind of throws me off. And I am willing to say that Zoro cares about all of his swords, obviously one more than the other two, but I'm willing to say he does care about his other ones, simply because of the sword that he got rusted back in Enna's lobby. He gave that sword a burial. Like, he put it to rest. We know he does this because we see it on screen. And he's only ever, up until now, replaced swords when necessary. Back in, what's the arc? The Barati arc. Where he fights Mihawk and his two swords break. He had to replace those. Those were gone, they were broken. And now we don't see it on screen, but how do we know he didn't give those two swords a burial? How do we know he didn't put those two swords to rest as well? But yeah, so I reckon I would have said he does care about his other swords, but within this chapter, we see that he's willing to give a sword up just for somebody else, just for the Wano. And, that seems a bit out of character for Zoro. Granted, there might be a saving grace for this. He did say that, I want to go see Ryuma's grave once again. So, I don't know, does that hint towards a connection to the sword that he's about to give up? I don't know. But, so there's that. I don't know. So the fact that Zoro is willing to take Enma is threw me off a bit. And the whole thing of him going to see the grave, I think that is kind of a hint that he does care about the sword. But I don't know, funny feeling. I feel like he's gonna go to the grave. Ryuma comes back. They call him the sword god, so why can't he come down to visit Zoro, have a talk? Say, I really wanted you to have my sword, blah 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 blah, and then Zoro has a change of heart. I don't know. I'm reaching right now, but I do think I'm reaching, but I think it'd be cool to see. So regardless of that, in this part of the episode, we find out that Odin had two swords. He was a Nitoru type of guy, and so I forget her name. She's got Enma, and Momosuke has the other. She should have the other. She said her brother has the other. Anyway, so her brother has the other. So the other. So yeah, those came in the pit. Moving on to Law versus Hawkins. So Law versus Hawkins had an off-screen fight, and they both looked pretty bloody. Law came out the winner, I do think Hawkins let Law win, but I also think that regardless, in a serious one-on-one fight, I do reckon Law always comes out on top of Hawkins. And I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I have no evidence to prove that. That's just how I feel about these two characters right now. But regardless of that, we found out some pretty juicy. It definitely caught me by surprise stuff within this part of the chapter. And I'm mainly talking about the fact that Scratch was already part of Kaido's pirates when Kaido touches down. I thought that Scratch chickened out when Kaido touched down, and no, it seems like that this was planned for the get-go. It seems that Scratch was helping Kaido headhunt from way back, and he probably leaked the location to Kaido, and that's why Kaido was there, like thing kind of vibe. But I was surprised. What surprised me about this the most was the fact that Apu was already part of Kaido's crew, and that's simply because I always saw Scratch Apu as the cocky, like a cocky character who would never. He would know. I also Scratch as cocky and someone who would never align under somebody else. I always thought that he'd be his own boss. Alliances, yes, but his own boss at the end of the day. So, and I simply thought this because of his first his when he was introduced, and we see him, just willing to chill when he found out that Anne was coming. He's like, "What? Anne was coming? Cool. I want to see this. Nah, we're not running yet. Yo, let the Admiral come through." So he's cocky. Scratch is cocky. So to find out that he had already joined Kaido, threw me off. Threw me off quite a bit. So we now know, because this ain't even a betrayal because he was already with Kaido. So we now know he's loyal to Kaido. So that throws out my theory of how I thought that, Scratch wanted to done this to just save his skin and then betray him later. That doesn't seem to be the case. But we do know that is the case for Hawkins. We don't know if Hawkins is good. I do reckon he is going to. I'm more strongly for that now because it seems like Hawkins let Law get away within this chapter. But we do know that for a fact, Hawkins did it to survive. You knew that fighting him, 0% chance. You knew that his only chance of getting out of that situation alive was to join Kaido. 40%. So he's like, you know what? We're joining Kaido. But Kid and Killer stood strong. They're like, no, not bowing down. We're fighting. We're going at it. And obviously we knew what happened to them. They got their butts whooped. But also through Hawkins, it seems like, based on what Hawkins was saying, is that wherever Kid's crew is, wherever the rest of the crew is, they're tied up, imprisoned, still alive. So that's a good thing. So yeah, Kid should get his crew back. So that's good. But yeah, I think that's everything I got to say about this bit of chapter. Help me out here, guys. When Law walks out the cell, there's a shadow figure. That's not Hawkins, right? Because Hawkins is cut up on the floor. So yeah, who do you think the shadow figure is? Yeah. So let me know on that. So is there anything you want to say more about Lord Hawkins? Yeah, I pretty much said it. Yeah, he let them win. Okay, so the end of the chapter, guys. The end of the chapter. Let's talk about the end of the chapter. Oh my gosh, this video is kind of long. Anyway, for my standards, anyway. Let's talk about the end of the chapter. We find out that there's a second way into Wano. Then we see Scratch Apu, who has come for the whole celebration thing that's coming up. Sorry. We learn about these number creatures. And then, oh my gosh, I wish I caught my reaction on camera. I kid you not. I was reading it on my iPad, The panel with them all buddy drinking is slightly bigger. So I saw that first. I was like, oh my gosh, what, they're not fighting anymore? I'm like, cool, but I didn't read the text. So I go back up, start reading the text now to find out that they are in an alliance. I kid you not, I dropped the iPad. I was like, oh my gosh, not exact words, but I was like, oh my gosh. I was lying down on my bed. I was like, ah! Oh my gosh, 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 oh my gosh. The excitement hit the roof. Big Mom and Kaido are joining, teaming up. I was like, what? Because I'm not going to lie. Like, I probably did have the thought. I mean, like, I did, but I didn't. But like, it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But I thought the thought of the Yonkos aligning it made it seem like that would never happen. That never in a million years happen, because essentially they're fighting for territories. So like you'd think that would never happen. So when that happened, I was like so much shock. I was like, oh my gosh, are they really aligned? And it's like, and based on the text, it made it seem like it's not just to stop Luffy and his alliance. It's like they had a buddy moment off screen, and like they're in it for the long haul. Like they said to take over the world, and then maybe after that, we'll fight to see who ends up on top. But I was like, oh my gosh. Initial reaction was shock and some serious excitement. But when I went to deep it even further, so after shock and initial excitement, I started to think, it's over. It's completely over. It's completely over. I didn't think the 5,000 plus was enough to deal with Kaido. Yes, they have numbers, they have quantity, they have quantity, but how much quality is in that 5,000 plus? Those were my initial thoughts. But to find out that now we have Big Mom pirates joining the fray, I'm like, it's too much. And then I started to worry. How are they going to get out of this situation? Is it going to be realistic? So now after initial shock, I'm just really worried, because I had a hard time believing that the 5,000 plus would be able to deal with one Yonko crew. Now they've got to deal with two Yonko crew. Granted, it's not the full Big Mom pirates, but Big Mom did bring some heavy hitters with her 2-1. So I am worried now. Is this going to end in a realistic way? I'm not gonna be I don't know the word I'm looking for. But I believe in Oda, basically. So I'm not too worried, but worry did cross my mind when finding that. But we have the Big Beast Alliance. I'm coining it first, the Big Beast. The Big Beast Alliance. I'm coining that first. But yeah. I think that's everything I got to say about this episode. This video has been really short. This is the longest review I've ever done. This is the longest review I've ever done. But let me wind this up. If you have managed to stay to the end and watched every minute of this, thank you. I love you, man. I love you, man. So yeah, thanks. Thanks for staying true to the end. If you're staying true to the end, please leave your thoughts on this chapter. Please, I am dying to know your thoughts on this chapter. I need to give it a rating. 4-star. It's not perfect, but it deserves a 4-star. Like always, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please go to my YouTube channel. But most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.